This is Flowers on the Stage.
Sometimes I'll start by just finding a sample, whether it's a melodic sample or just like a vocal sample. Move started with a sample and I built around that sample, or I'll just start with drums and then go from there and start building melodic elements after I've built a solid enough drum groove. Some days, I mean, I don't feel like doing anything. uh, but also it's like even the days where I don't feel like making it, I'll like I'll at least try. It's kind of like working out. It's like one of those things like if you do it every day, like it's just gonna get easier and easier to get the ideas that you have in your head out. I tend to like, wake up, get breakfast, stretch a little bit, and do like just like wake up, and then get on the computer and then honestly get to work. Just because like I'm just in a zone right now where I'm trying to just create a lot right now. So yeah.
So I was doing my homework before this, and I saw that you got your roots in some heavier music. You know,
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'd love to hear your take on darkness in art and how you feel like ultimately that can be a beautiful thing.
You ever heard of Die Art is Murder?
No,
Okay, so they have this one song called Reign of Darkness, and that is the perfect example. It's just it's like the most extreme dark track I know, but also it's like the dopest thing at the same time. Like it's like it's so dark it's beautiful.
let's say for instance, like your nephew
Mhm.
just getting into music asks you that question. Like obviously for
About
me, I'm being naive because I'm in all kinds of music, but someone literally who couldn't understand how darkness in art could be a great thing. Like, how would you explain that to them?
it gives like a song that contrast, because you'll get the perfect blend of like, happier stuff, and then the darkness will like mellow it, like bring it back down to like kind of neutral to where it's like you're getting both at the same time.
Is that something that you consciously think about, like when you're thinking about making an album?
Yeah, a lot of the songs, a lot of my songs have this in mind when I'm making it. How can I be like dark and sexy, or like dark and vibey at the same time? Like hard and soft at the same time. That's like what I try to accomplish in most of my tracks.
Why? Like, what's the effect of that?
Um,
I'm curious. I'm not trying to be facetious. I'm trying to like zoom out. Like,
it,
what is the value of the darkness itself? Like, what does it bring to the table?
it still makes it like kind of mean and like cold, in my opinion. Like, like for instance, there's like Marshmello, for instance, like his earlier stuff that was like really happy and like for the kids. I don't know. That's like the best way I can explain it. It's like not. It's just like that's like very like happy and like just happy as hell. Like move is like a perfect example of that contrast, because like the beginning of the song is like very vibey, and then like it drops and it gets heavy out of nowhere, and a lot of people, like most of the reactions is like, I didn't see that coming.
Mm. When you think about your favorite music and music you admire that makes you want to create music, that makes you want to go to a show, what specific aspects of certain songs that come to mind stand out as like why you think some of these pieces of music are so great, some of these artists are so worth seeing?
First off, the drums are, and just like how like whether how swingy, how techy, how just all around like good drums, like that. And then like there's a song like called The Spaniard by Scope. It's like a perfect example of like what I like a lot. Like Like if I like it's like one of those songs like I wish I made that.
Mm,
You know? Like I'm pretty sure every producer has a song where they're like, God damn, I wish I made that. You know? But for like let's say like if I'm like going to a show, it's like I'm looking for just, just that dark, vibey, not too crazy, but still gets the job done
mm.
type of vibe. For instance, I can't do tear out. I just can't do tear out like that tear out dubstep. Some of it's cool, but some of it's like, all right, this is just too much. But I like the perfect balance of like, I mean, I don't know. I do. It's kind of hard to say. I like everything, but except for like tear out. That's it. And like festival trap, I guess.
Mm.
I don't know, big room trap, I guess.
I'd love to hear you take me through you deciding, like, okay, I'm gonna go all in on doing this as a career.
Oh, are you saying what was the point for me?
Yeah, what was that like, and what factored into that? Like, what made you want to do that, and what was it like ultimately committing?
It was scary at first because like I've worked a job since I was 16 is like ever since I could drive, you know. Um, so you know, when the thought process of not having that like stability that is almost like guaranteed by, you know, said actions or whatever work I
Right.
was doing. Um, yeah, it was scary to think about, but at the same time, I kind of didn't have a choice because my job was so very specific on who could do it. And like it was like basically one of those things. It's like if I'm gonna train somebody for all these dates that you have to go play shows, I might as well just let them have the job because the job is such a like schedule, like having an open schedule demanding job, and it's not like
What were
anybody
you
gets
doing?
to. I was delivering pharmaceuticals.
Mm,
So it's like anybody that was doing it had to go through training, all this and the third, had to be a trusted source. Like, like it was a very like particular job. And it was like one of those jobs you got from knowing somebody, like I would deliver pharmaceuticals to retirement homes, rehab facilities, deliver like eyeballs and stuff to surgeries and like
damn.
all types of crazy stuff. But and also like during like I worked all through COVID too. So during COVID, on top of delivering medicine and stuff, we ended up picking up and dropping off COVID tests all over like my area. So it ended up being like I was driving 250 miles a day. So it's like you
Sheesh.
got to train somebody to do that every day, 5 days a week. And it's like I had too many shows coming in to like keep the job. If that makes sense.
So was it scary giving that up?
As that producer that was working 5 days a week, this is the dream that we've always wanted, I guess. But it's at the end of the day, it's like it is hard work and it's one of those things where it's all on you, and that's where it becomes very nerve-wracking sometimes.
From the creators of Summer Camp Music Festival, Soulshine Reverie is coming to Three Sisters Park this Memorial Day weekend. Don't miss Goose, STS9, Moon Hoot, Big Gigantic, and more at Soulshine, a music and arts reverie, on May 24th through 26th. Grab your tickets now at soulshinereverie.com.
What have been your biggest takeaways about what it takes since that point when you did go all in?
Takeaways as in
Like what it takes to, for example, wear all the hats and all that,
um
and what it takes intangibly too, just like from your own character.
I honestly feel like it's just like building up momentum and keeping that momentum and just trying to, play every show like it's your last, honestly, and pull up and show out. And the music industry nowadays is it's kind of different the way that it was like 3 years ago, I feel like, or maybe even 5 years ago. Like, I don't know, a lot of things are different on how people come up. Like, for instance, I feel like I was like when I was like coming up and people were starting to figure out who I was during a time where SoundCloud was more prominent, and now SoundCloud is still prominent, but like we were just talking to my friends about this earlier. It's like it's kind of weird how SoundCloud operates. Not how it operates, but how like the people interact with it versus Spotify, Apple Music, down the board, all the other streaming platforms or whatever. Um, it's like, you would just put the music up and go about your day and it would get some reach. Nowadays, it's like you gotta do all this extra stuff, like social media stuff and just like trying it kind of feels like we have to stay a little like more relevant on social media than some of the music sometimes. I don't know. It's kind of
And then
weird.
everyone's trying to do that. So then is anything like relative to each other even relevant if everyone's doing whatever tricks on social media? Like what even is the solution?
Um, I don't know, dude. It's like one of those things where it's like find a way to do it that's not going with the grain or go with the grain. I don't know. And it's like
I
it's
think
kind
the
of like
first one was that I like that one.
yeah, that's like what I'm trying to figure out. But it's like it's very hard, honestly.
Everyone is, yeah. It's hard and it's new. There's no right way. People
Yeah, I feel
with
like
success
TikTok
have
just
so
like
much
fucked
behind them.
everything up, honestly.
Yeah, now they're on the verge of getting banned. It was probably inevitable
Yeah. I
that
mean, TikTok
video
has
and
made a lot
social.
of new stars, honestly, too, but like it's just it's becoming the standard of like how we should do this music thing. You know what I'm saying?
And the point of music is not TikTok.
Exactly. That's like why I named what my album is music over virtually everything. So it's like, I don't know. It's
So
just
yeah, talk to me about the upcoming album. Like what's the backstory? What's the gist?
um the album was like I want to say it's like a 2 year in the making thing, maybe. The song that started the album is called Move. But you know, the goal of this album is to honestly just check all these boxes in my genre head, like in my like of what type of versatile artist I want to be. And I'm like hitting a lot of different vibes on this album, not just like it's not just like dubstep the whole time. So it's like you're getting a little bit of, some down tempo vibes, like some garage, some, dubstep and maybe some hip hop and like just it's just basically a compilation, I mean a combination of all the tastes that I like. And yeah.
Fuck yeah. Well, if you're listening to this, we'll have a link to his site. You can check it all out.
Move actually the next single actually drops Friday. And that's the one that's called Move.
Fuck yeah. Can't wait to check it out.
Mm-hmm.
This is Flowers on the Stage, a podcast about being creative and finding success. To support it, please check out our sponsors, New Belgium Brewing, Thrax CBD, and Ticket Relief, the ticketing company that plants trees with a portion of each ticket sold. And now, back to the episode.
Bringing this back, I want to talk about so you're with your creative process.
Mm-hmm.
What's something that you feel like you avoid doing or that you don't do that you think is beneficial that you're not doing that you're avoiding it?
I try not to get us stuck in a loop.
Mm.
I'll work on something for like an hour, maybe 2 hours. And that could be like the same little 4 bar thing I've been tweaking on for. Sometimes you just gotta let it go and move on.
Hmm.
That's the main
Zoom
thing I try to avoid.
Zooming out, talking about your philosophy about music. Like, what would you say is your philosophy on what you're looking to make in terms of what about it would cause it to meet your mark?
If it made somebody feel something, that's like the whole goal. Music that isn't just for the sake of a bop, you know?
Mm.
Um, that's like what I try to achieve on like my more serious projects, like something to just like, you listen to that and you feel some type of way. Or it made you like think about some things that you got going on in your life and yeah, it made you feel something.
Not just to be a bop.
Yeah.
What's something about life that you believe now that you didn't believe when you were younger?
This might sound kind of crazy, but not everybody is as cool as you think they are.
How'd you learn that?
The hard way. Or just like basically assuming that everybody's like nice.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So then on the other hand, talking about maybe like collaboration, what would you say are the main personality traits that you admire in your favorite people who you work with, who you have worked with before?
Um, so I'm gonna say something about Aaron, who is Vector, and then Sokka, that's Eric. Um, both of them are just very like the thing about them, they're very like what's the word? They're very passionate about this music. And that's like that's like the main like thing that I look for when I'm trying to like make some music with somebody because like also too is like like when you release a song with somebody that's there forever and it's kind of like you're investing in them just like they're investing in you by releasing with you. So like yeah,
Mm.
the passion for the music I guess and like how much they really love this shit.
Now let me ask you like all the different venue people and potential like engineers, managers, non-artists necessarily, like what intangible trait do you most appreciate when people you work with in that line?
um I'm gonna say something about my manager who has had me ever since I like you know got started. It's just you know the ability of them caring and believing in me and the project. That's the main thing that makes me happy and proud to be working with them.
Mm.
um Venue wise, Mission Ballroom always does a great job, and Cervantes and the Black Box. Like that's just some Denver venues though, but I don't know. I could go all day with venues, I guess.
What do you think is most important person like trait characteristic wise in someone's personality for them to be a great artist?
Mm, I want to say having first off, this is the main thing that this is the first and only like rule as it's not even like a rule, but it's like in order to succeed or even shoot your shot, you have to release the music. Like, and that is the first step, taking the courage to put it out there. That is the first step that is the first thing in like the main thing that makes you an artist is because you're sharing it. See, there's a lot of people that are artists that you would never know because they don't share it and they do it as a thing that they love to do, in their alone time or whatever. Like people are different, you know. Um, and like I said, like those people that you would never know are artists, you're never gonna know what they have or anything because like I said, it's not out there. So when you take that first step of releasing your first track, I feel like people are sometimes don't realize that takes a lot of courage, and some courage that some people don't have. So that's what's immediately sets you from any other creative right there.
Hmm. And my final question for you.
Hmm.
What advice can you share either for your younger self or for anyone out there listening, for me, about living life you can like look back on and be proud of?
Make sure to take it all in, and whatever you're doing in life, make sure to take it all in, because time just flies by, and next thing you know, it'll be 5 years from now, and you'll look back and you might realize that you didn't, you know, you might realize you took some things in life that you did for granted, and then you'll regret that. So yeah, just live it up. Make sure to be in the moment and take it day by day.
Amen.
Yeah.
Carl, man, this has been awesome. Thank you for joining me here, taking my questions in stride.
Yeah, man.
Cheers to you, my dude.
Cheers. I got a
Let's
Chipotle
go.
coat.
Well, man,
Um,
love this chat. Everyone who's listened this far, we got links in the description to get your tickets for upcoming Black Carl tour, as well as on his site where you can keep up with him on socials and new music, all that good stuff. My
and there's
man.
merch on there too if you're linked the website.
Hell yeah. Yep. We'll have that link, get the merch, all that. Any final words, my man?
Um, nah, move next single coming out April 12th.
So yeah, check out
Yeah.
m.o.v.e. That'll be out.
I don't know. Come see me and Copycat on tour.